Hey, how's it going? Iron Tamer Dave Whitley here from IronTamer.com and from HowToRipADeckOfCards.com. And what I'm going to do for you right now is give you the Cliff Notes overview of the technique that I use for ripping decks of cards. It's the same technique that I'm teaching in the full video course that's available at HowToRipADeckOfCards.com, and that is close to 3 hours of total footage between the principles and the assistance exercises and the techniques for basic stuff, plus a bunch of advanced stuff. So what I want to do now is give you this Cliff Notes version. I just took this deck of cards out of the box, and let's talk about fundamental principles for a second here. In order to rip this, just like ripping a sheet of paper, I need some opposing forces going on. So I want this corner going that way, and I want this corner going that way. And what that does is it sends that force into the center of the deck, into the weak point. Now, to encourage that to happen, I'm going to take this knuckle and this part of my index finger on my left hand. I'm right-handed. You will flip this if you're left-handed. And I'm going to take this knuckle on my right hand, and I'm going to create a shearing action like a pair of scissors, so that that force is directed precisely where I want it to go. Now, the setup for the technique for the left hand, the non-dominant hand, and what I will refer to as the vice hand in the course, is I'm going to make this shape with my hand, put the cards in, bring the index finger and the middle finger in like that. So it's not here, it's like that. The thumb will then come across and be like that. So the thumb is giving this pressure and the fingers are giving that pressure. So it looks like this. It's not clenching the fist. It's not full flexion. It's this. Once I get those in position, this ring finger tends to sit on that corner for me, okay? Want to make sure that the cards do not move in that sort of configuration. Want to keep everything square. Now the other hand, the action hand, the actual ripping hand, is going to come in, and right into that crease is where the end of the cards are going to go. Fingers are going to come in like I'm gripping against the thumb pad. Thumb is going to come in that sort of action to the key grip position, and I'm right here. Now you can see as I start to put pressure on it, the corner on my right is coming back towards me. You can't see the corner on my left, but it's going that way, and it makes the cards configure into an S shape, right? So by doing that, so I continue to apply that force. This is like my vice, and this is like my action hand. It's a lot like taking the top off of a difficult jar. If you watch real closely right here, you'll see that the rip starts to happen. And see, there it started. And now if you watch closely how my fingers are almost in contact with each other through the whole thing, creating that shearing effect. And once I get to about halfway through or so, it can be to my benefit, if I'm going slowly and precisely like this, to stick that index finger from the vice hand in position there. And that gives me one more point of contact to be able to twist from and pull from. And then from here, just pop it apart like that. And that's the basic Cliff Notes version of how to rip a deck of cards. I go into it in great detail in the full course, and I talk about other feats, more advanced feats, like taking what you just ripped in half and ripping it into quarters. Just like that, along with some other more involved, more intricate things. But that's the fundamentals. That is the basic thing that carries over into every other card ripping feat that you'd ever want to do. So, thanks for watching.